standing for recitation of the National Pledge. Pledge myself to honor and to be loyal to my country, to be obedient to the laws of Guyana, to love my fellow citizens, and to dedicate my energies towards the happiness and prosperity of my country. Thank you very much. Please be seated. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this, the contract signing for the reconstruction of the Linden Highway. My name is Vladimir Zod. I'm the permanent secretary, and also for this proceedings, I'll be the chairperson. At this point in time, I would like to take recognition for His Excellency, the President, Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, Honorable Prime Minister, Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips, Ministers of Government, Members of Parliament, members of the Discipline Services, members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of the Regional Democratic Councils for Region 10 and Region 4, members of the religious communities, members of Council Region 10, stakeholder agencies, citizens of Region 10, Region 4, and residents of the communities along this Linden Highway. Good morning and welcome. This is another installment of what I should say is government's continued commitment to the investment along this Linden Highway and across Region 10 and 4. So without no further, I would like to ask the Honorable Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, the Honorable Minister Deodat Indar, to give the opening remarks. Not just this speaker, Vladimir, like a coconut tree. Thank you very much, Master of Ceremonies, His Excellency, the President, Dr. Mohammed Irfan, Prime Minister, Retired Brigadier Mark Phillips, Colleague Minister Bishop Wania Jill, members of Cabinet, special invitees, residents of East Bank and this particular community. Welcome to this contract signing ceremony. I will be short because I know we have a packed agenda this morning, but just to give some brief remarks about this project and what the government's vision for infrastructure, what we've been doing over the past 4 years, is really delivering on the promises that we've made to the people of Guyana. This contract signing ceremony is a testament that our government has been fulfilling promises after the promises that we've made. You can go throughout the country, from the top of the country, in Region 1 to Crabwood Creek, and you will see in every single community, work is being done. Government work is reaching every single community. On the highways and the byways, you're seeing new ones being constructed throughout the country. Everywhere you go, you're seeing activity, which is a good sign of economic development. I was once told that when you see the tower cranes all over your country, it is a good sign that your country is on the path of industrialization. And if you travel the Demerara River or cross the Demerara Harbor Bridge and you look around, you'll see those very numerous tower cranes showing up. And that is a good indication that the country is on a good takeoff. Nevertheless, we have been doing and doing all the time. I'm using simple language as much as I can. We've been acting and acting on projects every single day, every single day. But prior to us coming into government, a lot of stuff was percolated. A lot of stuff was percolated. The widening of the Borbies Highway, 86 kilometers, was percolated. A new Quarantine River Bridge, a new Borbies River Bridge, percolated. The Sheriff to Mahaika widening, nobody thought about it. Old Staples Highway was percolated. The 4-lane highway from Georgetown to Soosdijk, never thought of. The new Demerara Harbour Bridge was percolated. They had something with some 3-lane bridge in the middle of the harbour, percolated. New Schoonard Road, never had an idea about it. The connector roads on the entire East Bank corridor to the new highway, never thought of. The widening and the overlaying of this entire stretch from Georgetown straight up to Smiley and many other projects. You were only hearing talk. Only talk you were hearing, and only promises will be made. Only studies have been done. What you can say about this government is every single project that I mentioned here is actually done or in construction or at the procurement process. Every single one of them. And that is the leadership that you elected in the President of Guyana, Dr. Ali. That is the leadership that you have elected, that works for this country, works for the people at breakneck speed, tireless, and over and over and over again. We will continue to do this. So today, I just wanted to add to the many voices that will speak about this 73 kilometers of road that will be rehabilitated. Some aspects will be full construction, some will be just the overlay, because some aspects do not need full construction, but 73 kilometers and about 10 bridges, and another 5 other structures that we'll have to get done to make sure from Soosdijk to the Linden alignment is completely reconstructed, with 2 roundabouts, one at Soosdijk and one at the Linden Junction. So others will speak a little more on the project. I don't want to take away from anybody that comes after me, but today it's another landmark occasion for us, one we will remember, one that you can be proud of, that your government continues to work laboriously for you. I thank you and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister, for those welcoming remarks. And that's a mouthful in the context of the quantum development projects taking place across the country. And to give you sort of a flavor of the level of development that is happening throughout the length and breadth of Guyana. Additionally, this project, should say, is one that has been in the works from the time of its negotiation, conceptualization to negotiation, completion at the point of where we are today. It's almost 3 years of work. This would have been since government came into office, and that process has accelerated from then to now. So we are very happy that at this point we're able to deliver on this project for the residents along this corridor. At this point in time, I would like to call on no less than the Honourable Minister in the Ministry of Public Works, the Honourable Bishop Juan Edgel, to give you his general remarks on this project. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairperson P.S. Vladimir Prasad, Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali, President of Guyana, Honorable Prime Minister, Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips, my cabinet colleagues, the Senior Minister in the Office of the President with responsibility for finance and the public service, Minister Kwame McCoy, Minister of Public Affairs and Minister Anand Prasad, Minister within the Ministry of Local Government, heads of the disciplined forces, regional chairman 4, contractor, consultants, other special invitees, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. try that again. A very good morning. What is happening today is something that literally happens every day. And I know some of you don't see that. The policy of the government is that whenever a project is being done in a community, we must go to that community, meet with the people, introduce the contractor, provide the community with an on-price bill of quantity so that the people of the community could be able to know the project and be able to monitor it. Today, the scale of this event is because of the national importance of this event, and that is the reconstruction of the Linden Soesdijk Highway. And I'm sure all of us should be happy about it. Please allow me to express deep appreciation, first of all, to the President for giving guidance and providing leadership on getting all matters as it relates to this project completed. The President led from the front, like he's always been doing on every matter. A very important person on behalf of the President and on behalf of the government of Guyana, with his team at the Ministry of Finance, was Dr. Ashley Singh, who played no small role in ensuring that the financing was secured, in ensuring that all of the modalities that needed to be done was done. And by the way, this is our first development project that is being funded by the Islamic Development Bank. And we want to thank Dr. Ashley Singh and all the staff of the Ministry of Finance. And, you know, I did ask Dr. Ashley Singh to make some remarks today because I know he played a very important role, but he declined. But I want to let you know that getting to this point, the leadership of the President and the activism of the Minister of Finance is what ensured that we got this here at this time. It could have been a longer process, but they worked round the clock to ensure that this important project is in place. So we want to thank the President and Dr. Ashley Singh again for that. I want to tell you a little bit about what this project entails. This project will see the construction of two roundabouts. There will be the construction of a roundabout at the Soesdijk-Linden junction, so there will be smooth transition of traffic going in any direction, whether you're going to the airport, you're coming to Linden, or you're going to town, whether from Linden or from Tamiri. So just like we have improved traffic in segments of Georgetown and in the new interventions that we are making with roundabouts, there will be one at the Soesdijk-Linden Highway junction. The second roundabout will be at Millie's hideout to allow for a smooth intervention into Linden. This project will bring joy to a lot of people, because when this highway is rehabilitated, there will be 2,900 street lights along the entire highway. You know, some of us, when we were in Georgetown, once the place started getting bleaky, we call it, we shut it out. People were in Linden and the place started getting dark, they shut it out because of the darkness of this highway. Could you imagine your new highway lit every night, 2,900 lights? That is what we're delivering here. For the persons living on the highway, let me tell you about this project. All of the bridges will be done, and you no longer have to walk on the bridge in the middle of the traffic when you're moving from one section. There will be pedestrian bridges at the side of the major bridges. See, nobody don't have to get knocked down in the middle of the road anymore. We have places where people can walk now. And that is going to bring direct benefit to all the people that are living in the highway. Today is a day of good news, so we don't want to talk about sad things, but you know the dangers of trucks parked on the highway, not properly lit, and what has happened in the past. We are putting in more lay-bys, so there will be more places for trucks to park. And even if a truck parks late at night, the 2 lanes will continue to flow because they'll be completely off the highway in lay-bys where the trucks can park. Significant improvement for traffic safety and efficiency. Those of you who live and traverse this thoroughfare will know that we've been having significant breakaways, or what we call washouts. This project, Mr. President, entails improving the drainage of the entire highway. So the drainage of the entire highway, the flooding of the pass and water logging after the rain, drainage will be taken care of. The road markings that will be on the road, it will be a high quality marking that will provide for reflective viewing in the night. So when you are driving and your light gets to the markings on the road and on the signs, it will be bright to help you to navigate all of the turns. It will be the reflective nature. The poles that we are putting in, I think they call it the plinth. What was the term again? Huh? Breakable plinth. So in the past, if there's an accident and a vehicle hits a pole, God deliver us. This time with the mechanisms that we're putting in, the poles will go flat down and not break, so that you wouldn't have to, but we don't want anybody hitting a pole anyhow. But just in case, because we don't want anybody hitting poles. But that's a new technology that we're putting in here, and hopefully we'll be able to transfer that into other places to improve traffic safety as well. So you'll have lights throughout, pedestrian bridges at every major bridge, more lay-bys, emergency stopping bays will be put in place, and also specific places will be for rest areas. And let me tell you why we have to put in rest areas. This project is going to be joined with other major projects. The traffic coming through from Brazil. If a man gets tired, rather than fighting to sleep to get to town, creating a problem, there must be a rest area where he could be able to divert, get some rest, and then continue. That's what the government is doing to improve the lives of people in this country. So we're putting in rest areas. The entire highway would have to be eventually dug up, new surfaces put in, new bases put in place, and new surfaces. And the construction will have to cater for the new level of tonnage that is coming through the highways. Now, this highway, to remind everybody, was built between 1966 to 1968. So you could do the math. At that time, we didn't have these articulated vehicles and logging trucks of such magnitude. You had an option of going to Linden using a boat, and we brought this highway into being. But you will see the number of waves and sinks in the highway. We call them depressions or other terms. That's because of the weight factor. So like we are doing on the highway, we have to do the same thing on another project on the good success to Mary Stretch, where we have to improve the base so that we wouldn't have those sinks and bulges like you would have been seeing. So it will bring significant improvement. I'd like to introduce you to the contractors that will be working on this project. It's a joint venture between the Malco of Trinidad and Tobago and Guyamerica of Guyana. The principals of both companies are here. Mr. Naim Ali, could you please stand so the people will know the contractor? He's from Namalco, the Trinidadian company, and Mr. Riaz Khan from Guyamerica, the Guyanese company. We have procured the services of an international consultant to provide supervisory services. And I'll just come to that just now about what we're doing. And we have the representative of the supervisory consultancy firm. It's Al Habishi Engineering from Kuwait in association with C&B and Associates of Guyana. Could the consultant's representative please stand? Oh, he's here now. Could you give him a good hand? This project, the construction of the highway, is for 161 million US dollars. The supervisory consultancy is for 1.775 million US dollars. The question has been asked over and over by those who admire us, but admire us awkwardly. I would not say they are our critics. They are really admiring what we are doing as a government, but they do so awkwardly and they write comments. Since 2020, when we came to office, we have procured some of the best skills from around the world, including contractors who are actually building and consultancy firms that are supervising. Let me give you for an example. We have a Chinese company building the New Demerara Harbor Bridge. But you know who's supervising that project? A European firm out of Italy, Politecnica. We have a major construction that is going on the East Coast from Sheriff Street all the way to Orange Nassau and Mahaika. It's being done by another Chinese company. But you know who's supervising them? Bestons, a reputable West Indian firm. They are here supervising. We just signed a contract, which, and all these contracts that I'm talking about, are publicly tendered projects. Went out, notice to everybody to apply. So these are people who are interested in working in Guyana. The good success to Tamiri project, we have a Chinese contractor that has been engaged. You know who is supervising them? Shaladia, out of the United States of America, is a consultancy firm that is supervising them. We have a Brazilian contractor that is doing the Linden to Babura Road. Do you know who is supervising that? One of the best in the field, Mott McDonald, again out of Europe. And I went that way, Mr. President, to assure people that when we are spending government's money, apart from the skills that are there locally, the engineers and the project management people and the Ministry of Public Works, government has safeguarded the people's monies by ensuring we bring in international companies to supervise, to do the necessary things to ensure we get high quality work and value for money in all of our projects in Guyana. And that is something that we should be proud of. I would like to also advise that part of our policy, which has led us to today's signing, which I told you it takes place almost every day, because with the volume of what we are doing in various communities, but it is done on a smaller scale. The policy direction is that we've always said to the contractors, you must hire people from the area where the project is being undertaken. Today, at this signing ceremony, when we are done, I've been advised by the contractor and the representatives, the tent right in the corner there would be available for us to begin the recruitment process of people for the project here on the Linden Highway. The truck drivers, for the President to speak a little bit more about how that's going to benefit the people here in Guyana. The specific objectives of getting this highway going is that we have to improve and meet the current transportation demands. I traverse this highway quite a lot, very often, and I recall during the period of 1983 to 1986, when the toll gate was just up the road, you could come out and sit at the toll gate waiting for a hike to town because public transportation ain't coming anyhow, and you could wait for hours to see a truck. Now there are thousands of vehicles on this thoroughfare every single day. So we have to improve that. We also have to put in place the things I'm talking about to meet our future demands. One of His Excellency's guests that came from Qatar a while ago, after meeting with the President and we had a sidebar, he was telling me that he learned about what we are doing in Guyana because he was here to look at opportunities. And he was saying, I notice you guys are building 4 lanes. Why don't you just build 6 and 8 lanes now? And he was saying from their own experience, of course, you got to spend in keeping with what money you got. But he was saying they regretted that they had not done that at the time because it would end up costing more when you have to go back and do it. So the people who are asking, why are you building 4-lane bridge? Why are you building 4-lane highway? Why are you doing this and why are you doing that? Are people, they're either anti-patriotic, anti-development, or just small in their thinking. Because Guyana is going somewhere and we have to prepare for that. You know who used to be on the highway? And Mr. Ferry and others could talk about that. You know who used to be on the highway? Coal miners. This was the biggest business, Mr. President, on this highway. 1983 plus when I had been up here for several years. The biggest business was coal mining. Now you know what we have on the highway? Resorts. World-class resorts. You passed one that when you were coming up. Another one when you're coming down from Linden. All the creeks are developed. Housing development. There's a dairy that is being established just on the highway. We're not talking about going beyond the highway. So those who would like to criticize and say, why are they doing this? I remember telling a particular politician in the parliament when they were cutting the budget, and Dr. Singh will remember that, I said, don't cut your nose and spoil your face. And his retort was, I don't cut it up so ugly ain't it? Development must come. And I'm happy, we are happy, and we want this to happen soonest. It would be wrong of me not to acknowledge at this time the team from the Ministry of Public Works who have worked with the Ministry of Finance, with the Islamic Development Bank, walking through the procurement process, the evaluation process, leading to the award, and now for signature, we would like to acknowledge the PS, the coordinator of the Work Services Group, and all the engineers who participated in this. So we'd like to say a big thank you for this. I'm not the featured speaker today, so my job is just to introduce the project, introduce the contractor and the consultant, to say my few words, but you will definitely hear from His Excellency the President, and I would want to ask all of us, because and show, as he outlined and all, and lay out the future development, because close to his own heart, you notice I didn't say anything about that, Silicon City and all the rest of it, that's his baby for a long time. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time and look forward to working with you, and thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister. Eloquently said in terms of the context of this project. What he did mention as well, which is the more softer side of the project, is that the project also caters for development of small businesses and also training for persons along this corridor, particularly skills training, targeting specifically women. So this is something that you should take on board and acknowledge now, that there will be further interactions with you as the other aspects of the project comes on stream. So just bear that in mind, apart from the civil component that you've seen here. At this point in time, it gives me great pleasure in inviting to the podium no less than a gentleman, a young man who's been leading a wonderful government and cabinet. His Excellency, Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali. Please come.
Thank you. Today is a very significant day in the history of our country for many reasons. And I want to spend some time this morning demonstrating to you how important and significant today is in the history of our country. I do not want us to believe for a moment that we are here to turn the sod for the Linden, the new Linden-Soesdijk Highway. That would not be understanding what we are working on here and what the plans are and what we hope to achieve. Indeed, this investment is part of a wider menu of investment that is aimed at the transformation of our country, the opening up of opportunities, the rebuilding and expansion of the economy, and the integration of different regions within our country. As you know, this highway is integral, not only for the connectivity between Region 4 and Region 10, but importantly, it is important because it is one of the main arteries that support the development in the hinterland communities and wider afield. But more importantly, this highway will be linked to other key and critical infrastructure that would expand the productive capacity of our country, that would expand the land availability and open up new areas for a multifaceted investment portfolio. And when I say multifaceted investment portfolio, I'm not only speaking about the connectivity and the importance of this highway to the transformation of Linden as an important industrial hub that will support the mining community, as an important machining and mechanical hub that will support the mining community, but also the link of this highway to the Sandhills Road that will open up all those lands for agriculture, for tourism, and also for housing development all the way to Bartica, and then the connection of the Sandhills Road that goes to Bartica on the Del Conte Road, coming back to Porica, heading on the new highway, and tomorrow we'll be opening the first segment of that highway that has been completed. So, as you can see, this is a careful articulation, a careful plan, a careful vision that is being implemented across the country. This is not guesswork. This is not accidental planning. This is a careful, well-articulated strategy that will put Guyana number one. We are not working to be number two. We are working to be number one in whatever we do. This economy, by the time we're finished, will be the most advanced, most diversified, most integrated, and our urban and regional planning will be the best planned urban and regional planning. It is no guesswork. I see the regional chairman for Region 4 here. I'm happy. Because in his previous life, and I hope and I know that he'll change the circumstances, being a member of a group that blocked the Amalas Falls Hydro Project, you know that, Chairman. Remember that happened. That blocked the Amalas Falls Hydro Project. I see Mr. Codigan, you were in Parliament when you blocked it. Remember?
He's my friend.
You're our friend. And I'm happy you guys are here because together, all of us will build Guyana. And together, all of you will be on the right side of history eventually. It will take longer for some, but eventually. I have faith in the Guyanese people. But we have to be mindful of the history we're part of. They blocked the Amalas Falls Hydro Project. If they did not block that project, today we would have had hydropower. The cost of electricity would be half of what we're paying today, and we would have had industries, agro-processing, manufacturing, all those industries already established here. But when they blocked it, they did not block development. They blocked the opportunity for jobs, the opportunity for industry, the opportunity for manufacturing. And you know, when you examine it, all this blocking kept us back. Today, we're going to break the barriers. We're going to be bold and ambitious. We're going to be careful and tactful. Because it is this type of vision that will take us to an area where the One Guyana principle would allow all to enjoy the bounties and beauty of our country. Today, when we said we're doing this highway, and we start to invest in all the community roads, I would outline to you the benefits that these investments would have brought already and is bringing to the communities along the highway. But before I do so, just to understand the growth of this country, to understand the global positioning of this country, and to understand where Guyana stands in the global setting, this project gives a fair understanding of that. Before I go there, let me thank the Minister of Finance and his team, the ministers in Public Works and their team, all the technical people, some of whom are here today, the Cabinet, the Islamic Development Bank, and all our partners, local, global, and regional, for their strong support and appreciation for Guyana and where we are going. Today, we have the most diversified portfolio of investors in the region. We have the most diversified portfolio of lenders in the region. We have the most diversified project portfolio of project financing in the region. We have the most diversified project managers, construction company, and consultants in the region. What that tells you? That tells you that we are the eye of the storm. We are the eye of the region, and the globe is looking at us. They're paying attention, and they're coming. Very simple. This project today, financed by the Islamic Development Bank, supervised by Al-Habshi Engineering from Kuwait, built by a regional firm from Trinidad and Tobago and a local firm from Guyana. But importantly, the engine of the construction will be Guyanese. And this tells you also, even I sometimes am very harsh with my engineers and the guys from the ministry. Not only public works, but this is coming for the most heat. Rightfully so. But when you look at what we're doing, it is not easy to manage all these culture, because when you manage a project, you have to manage all these culture. You have to manage the behavior of the Trinidadian contractor, the Guyanese contractor, and the consultant. Cultural differences is an important part of project management. So we appreciate that these projects, these multifaceted projects, are also giving our local managers an opportunity to work in the most complex environment, so we are building that capacity to take our country forward. And this is an important point we miss sometimes with these transformative projects. I see Makar here too. And they will tell you, today, they're training hundreds of Guyanese as operators, and they can't train fast enough. They can tell you about the growth of this market, and they can tell you about their strategic corporate decision to concentrate their investment in Guyana and to build out an entire ecosystem in Guyana that supports training, supports maintenance, and supports expansion of fleet. And you can see that facility is being built out. How much are you spending on that facility? $25 million on that facility. One company alone, $25 million on that facility. Employing hundreds of persons. Training, they will train thousands when they are finished. That didn't happen by accident. That happened because they are convinced that the government and Guyana has a carefully articulated strategy that will give them corporate success and give them the confidence to invest $25 million here. So, on a point of correction to Public Works Minister, you have 3 roundabouts. You said 2. The third one is 5 Corner Linden. That's the one you missed. And when you talk about road safety, it is not only the high performance reflective markings. It is more than 2,900 highway lights that will be all along the highway, lighting up the highway. That is what the PPP does. That is what the PPP does. Don't worry, I'm very good at catching things. And that is what the PPP does. We light up your life. Not with what my brothers once wanted to light up our life with. Slow fire, go fire. We light up your life with prosperity, with vision, with beauty, with commitment, with love, with honor, with dignity, with development, with pride, with justice. That's how we light up your life. Now, back to the highway in proper. This project here, the contractors are looking for 300 persons to be employed. The average salary for a driver monthly will be more than $200,000. But I want to say this. That is this project, 2 years project. But they got to come in before that. Right? Contractors, consultants. Not a daily rate. 200-300 new employment will be created here in the construction phase. But we already have a problem. Because under housing, we already employ more than 400 persons. We need about 650 with the work we're doing, and we're not finding them. We're not finding the persons. So we have to address this challenge. So today, we want the persons in Linden and on the Linden-Soesdijk Highway to maximize this opportunity. Maximize this opportunity. And let us look at the whole infrastructure plan and what it is doing for us on the highway and in Linden. And I want to remind you, we are in office for about 4 years. About 4 years. We did all of this. Let me tell you. 11 new lanes to Eccles. 7 new lanes to Diamond. We'll have 7 lanes to Bosby Dam. We are now discussing from Bosby Dam to Land of Canaan. And then Land of Canaan to the Soesdijk Highway. And we built already 20 new lanes of interconnection between the old highway and the new highway all the way to Diamond. And I want you to recall and remember, we did all of this with 2 years of COVID, almost 2 years of COVID, 2 major floods, the highest global transportation costs and material shortage. We did all of this under these circumstances. In Bosai, in Linden, since we came into office, we have added more than 300 new jobs at Bosai. And before the end of this year, we'll add close to an additional 300 more jobs at Bosai. So by the end of this year, you're talking about 600 new jobs at Bosai. That wasn't there before. Splashman development. 348 persons. 348 persons being employed there at the Splashman development. The new Marriott that is being built at Timeri, more than 125 currently employed. And you on the highway will have the first opportunity to be among the 348 that will be permanently employed at the new Marriott Hotel that is being built at Timeri. All of this did not occur by accident. All of this occurred because of the confidence in the People's Progressive Party civic government. Because of the carefully articulated plan that shows Guyana and position Guyana as not only a hub for investment, but as a profitable destination for investment. That is not all. I spoke about housing and the opportunity housing will bring. But I also want to tell you about a new transmission line that we'll have to invest in here from Land of Canaan to Wismar. That will be an investment of more than 150 million US dollars. New investment, 100 kilometers of new transmission line. So the story of development and expansion that will take place is unfolding every day. And let me say this to you. Let me remind you. I saw somebody ask for feasibility study for the bridge. The new Berbice River Bridge high crossing 4-lane will be built. The Wilsma Bridge will be completed. The Demerara River Bridge will be completed. The planning for the Kurupukari Bridge is well advanced. The examination of the Kwakwani Bridge will be determined before the end of the year. Make no mistake. These hypocrites. Where was the feasibility study, the socio-economic study when it shut down the sugar estate, sending thousands of people home? Where was the socio-economic study when it shut down bauxite? When they shut down the power center at Linden when they came into government? They had a full study for the hydro and they blocked it. These people are bluffers. In a different aspect of life, you just call them a different name. You know when you got a friend who just blocked you? Where they call it? Huh? Paul Blacko? You know, I don't know, you saying that, I don't know, is it? What is called it, Chairman? You said coach. What? Chairman, you're wicked. I don't know what it's called, but I got a name for it. All I know is I got a name for it. But everything positive they tried to block. And they had an opportunity to do something for 5 years. What did they do? That's not true. My brother, you know that's not true. Y'all took away the because we gave grant. Today, y'all parading in the communities how we love the children, and you plucked out of their pocket the money that we give them. Billions of dollars. Yeah, y'all did a lot. No textbooks in school. Shutting down of sugar. Take away the discipline service bonus. Y'all did a lot. A lot. The only thing is y'all didn't do nothing positive. One of my friends said there were sailors sailing, drifting a sea, waiting for the current and the tide to take them to the destination. But in the end, there was no captain, there was no mate, and the ship was left adrift at sea. Simple. So, don't parade on this highway because the pain you inflicted on the community. I tell you what we're doing, you know. I tell you what we're doing. Right on this highway, Moblisa, more than $20 million US investment in a dairy project by DDL. 20 million, more than 20 million US investment in a dairy project. You ever dreamt of that? No. They did too for agriculture. They created a new portfolio called urban agriculture. You remember? And they had a minister responsible for urban agriculture. They share it out, they take it. The one man. So, this development trajectory, and we ain't done yet. Seneca City, oh man, you on the highway? You guys see what is happening on the highway now. Be honest. We got to tame y'all now because y'all selling out the lease, and we ain't like that. The value of lands on the highway is shooting out of the roof. Don't sell your land. Do not sell your land. Look at the valuation that is taking place on the highway. Every day, a new industry is being built on this highway. A new project is being launched on this highway. For the first time in your communities, we are building concrete roads. We are improving the infrastructure, building wells. Isn't that true? Isn't that true, brother? Oh, come. Don't just not there. No, come next year, brother. Come. This is my brother. This is my brother. Okay, I got to hold you, man. This is your true brother?
We have the roads in the highway.
Thank you. I'm telling you, my brother is coming. My brother is coming. Because we are doing the work. We are building a One Guyana. We are supporting a One Guyana. And let me be clear. No one will stop this president and this government from building this One Guyana. There is no difference among us. Black, yellow, brown, white, green, orange. We are one. We are Guyanese. We are made of the Guyanese spirit. We are made of the Guyanese blood. We are one. And nothing is going to stop us from building this One Guyana. Every obstacle, every barrier, every wicked plan before us will be dismantled. Every one of it will be dismantled. Because One Guyana is what we strive for. And One Guyana is not only of us hugging up. One Guyana is us working to bring development to every community. Working on creating opportunity. Working in celebrating our cultural heritage. Working on promoting who we are. Working on binding ourselves together. That is the concept of One Guyana. It is not abstract. It is quantitative and qualitative. My Rastafarian brethren, I did. My friends, this project is connected also to the 73 kilometers roadway. Well, you already said that. Let me not. Today, Marcel, you told me. They report every day they complain now is a limited capacity because of the influx of persons coming in the country. The place blocked up. Whilst there is a group who want to block development, we are already examining and discussing the expansion of the airport to Terminal 2. Because we know that we want to build out the tourism prospect of the country. When the more than 14 hotels will be completed in 2 to 3 years, we have to have a facility to process the passenger. Modernizing that airport to support the growth and development. Tourism development and recreational activities. Look at what is happening on the highway. But only 2 months ago, a local investor is looking to invest more than $50 million US in a new high-end state-of-the-art tourism facility and product here on the highway. And they're aggressively planning this. And this will be an integral part of Silica City. You know, when I demonstrate Silica City, it has different blocks and different frames. Local young people, the same investors who are investing in bringing in food chains in Guyana, now going to expand into entertainment, expand into this great tourism investment. Working with international partners. These things are not accidental. These things are because people understand that there is a carefully articulated vision and plan for this country. And they're looking at ways and opportunity through which they can fit into that vision and plan. And that is what I want you guys to occupy your mind with. Forget the noise. Block out the noise. There's a lot of plotting that is happening. I block the noise out and I concentrate. Concentrate. The task ahead. Concentrate. Fit yourself in the development of the country. Fit yourself in the opportunity. Block the noise out. See how you can benefit from the 300 jobs. See how you can be a part of what is happening. Involve yourself. Do not fall prey to the noise. That is what is key. Keep that focus on the tasks ahead, the plans ahead, the development agenda. That is what is key in life. You block the noise out. The noise is there to distract you. The noise is there to throw you off. Why you think when you're playing basketball and you're doing a free shot, the fans will make a lot of noise against the opponent? Because they want to distract you from making the shot. Why you think in cricket there is noise to distract the batsman from his concentration? Because you want the wicket. The noise is designed to distract you. The noise is designed to take away from what you're doing. Lock the noise out. Block the noise out and stay focused on the task ahead. That is what will define who is successful from who is not successful. We have also launching modern agro-processing facility, farms, the 500 homesteads that will be built here. All of this is supported because of the investment we are making. This is linked, of course, to the $190 million Linden to Memorial Hill project, 121 kilometers of road. But we are already working on continuing that road all the way to Linden. We are looking at different plans, different proposals, different financing mechanisms. We have established a joint working group in Brazil. A joint working group in Brazil to examine the totality of the project. We are working with partners in creating a link for the deepwater port to support this investment. We are building the food terminal, and all of this is linked to this critical investment. The Mackenzie-Wisma Bridge, an investment of $35 million. The good success of the Mary Road, an investment of $75.8 million. This highway that will start, and let me say, I know, brothers, I know, sisters, there will be inconvenience. This is a period of building and rebuilding. There will be tremendous inconvenience in this process, but we cannot avoid it at this point. We cannot avoid it at this point. We never imagined the day when hundreds of containers will come from Brazil, passing through that highway, coming down this highway. It was a dream. But the reality is upon us. And the reality is upon us not yesterday. The reality is upon us today. It requires real action. It requires real presence, not abstract. So we have to understand that there will be a level of inconvenience. But that is not a government-created problem. That is a development-created known. Some of these very people that shout and cry, I'm in the road, they're building a bridge for half hour. I sat in traffic in Miami for hours, in the Guyana Expressway for hours. It is, we don't want it. We have to try to minimize it. We don't have this, we never had this number of trucks traversing this highway. But can we stop it? If you stop it, you stop development. We just have to be mature in the way we handle it. Drivers have to be careful. The police have to do their work. the contractors have to ensure the safety mechanisms are in place. The public education as to what is being done when has to be on point. The engineers, the community engagement, these are the key things that are needed. The implementation of the 35.35 kilometers of enhanced two-lane road from Good Success to Mary. That is a project. The design has been submitted, and that is a project that will commence. Physical work will commence very shortly. I'm not even talking to you about the more than $4 billion we have spent in community roads along the highway. In Region 10, we invested billions in community roads, and this is a project that is critically linked to Region 10. So this march to progress is unstoppable. This transformation is unstoppable. Whether it be the new high-span bridge across the Demna River, the soon-to-open Schooner to Crane bypass, the widening of the East Coast Public Road, the Linden to Latham Road, the new Wisma Bridge, the bridge across the Quarantine River, the development of the new ferry service, the new bridge across the Barbies River, whatever it is unstoppable. The transformation, development, and expansion of our economy is unstoppable. And we are humbled by it. We have to remain humble. We have to acknowledge the presence of the greater being. We have to be thankful for it. And we have to be focused on what is before us. And that is what I want to do. I want us to be focused. In Region 10, because I hear a lot of the lies. In Region 10, between 2020 to 2024, Prime Minister, we have spent more than $30 billion in Region 10. I'm not telling you about the major roads and so. I'm not telling you about the big highways. In Region 10 alone, we have spent more than $30 billion. Not only government, that is government expenditure, but also private sector investment in Region 10 is over $400 million US dollars. Over $400 million US dollars private sector investment in Region 10. And let me tell you this. Let me give you a comparison. On the miscellaneous roads, on the afternoon, for 5 years, and I have to examine it because the truth is what will set you free. They claim how much you love Region 10. Let me tell you what it did. In 5 years, on the miscellaneous roads, they built 31 roads, which is 6,560 meters of roads, at a cost of $289 million. Let me go back that slow corridor. Slow for you. Your government then, your government is us, PPPC now, and on after 2025 PPPC. And you will be with us. But your period of disheartenment, the 5 years of the APNU AFC government, they did 31 roads, miscellaneous roads, in Region 10, which is 6,560 meters of roads at a cost of $289,174,185. Under the PPP, and this is to tell you how we operate. Remember this number in your head, 6,560 meters of road on the avenue. In the last 4 years, we did 372,000 meters of maintenance roads in Region 10 and the hinterland. On miscellaneous roads alone, let me just use that one. That they did 6,560 meters. On miscellaneous roads alone, we did 131 roads compared to 31. In 4 years, and the next year, boom, 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 knockout. $31 versus 131. They did 6,560 meters of roads. We did 66,452 meters of roads. Cado, oh man, your conscience biting you now. 6,560 meters in 5 years versus 66,452 meters in 4 years. 289 million versus more than 3 billion. 289 million versus more than 3 billion. Love me. When you go to the community, tell them this. Go to the people in Linden and stand to your history, stand to your record. We will stand by our record any day. We are proud of our record. We believe in our record. Our record stands out. But go to the people and I come for your record. I come for your 5 years. I come for your stewardship. I come for your leadership. Don't hide under the noise. And Ashley, let them also tell the people in Region 10 that since we came back, we have put back in the pockets of the children $3.2 billion that was stolen, extracted, pickpocket out of the children of Region 10. When they came into government, they took it away. We give it back. We give it back. And we increase it to 40,000 per child. And before the end of 2025, it will be $50,000. Glory be to the Lord, for He has created every day in beauty. Stand to your record. Stop the noise and rhetoric. Stand and defend your clueless, visionless, missionless record that you have left. I like my chorus. You're sweating here, man. But at the end of the day, you'll make the right decision. Because you will examine the record. The National School Grant. The teachers that we train. The textbooks. Region 10, be honest. In the 5 years, what happened with the textbooks? More than $150 million. The school feeding program, more than $230 million. The juice and biscuit program, more than $156 million. Let them point to one new thing that they introduced that brought benefit to the people. One only. Not what they took away. Old age pension, more than $285 million. For the first time, we introduced the permanent disability grant, $183 million. The children with disability grant, the persons with disability training, the empowerment fund, And Kodu, your favorite project, the hemp, we got to build industry. We have to build it up. Industry. We have to work, get the board in place, and build out this industry for commercial hemp. It is an important opportunity for the country. The Free Spectacles program. And today, a couple days ago, I asked the Minister of Finance, because I know this is a big issue that we're faced with, the NIS issue. We came up with one innovative solution because some people did not make the contribution by 10 contribution, by 50 contribution, by 70 contribution. So we should do a cutoff point. I asked him to examine this, to do a cutoff point from 650 to 750, and to see whether we can calculate a reduced pension or for those persons who are that contribution away, so that no persons will be left without the benefit. That is what your government does every day. That is what your cabinet does every day. We don't sleep. And let me tell you something. The vice president, whole day they like custody. When he was president, every single initiative, the LCDS when he launched it, they kicked it out. They criticized it. Today, the same LCDS earning us hundreds of millions of US dollars. And what is the LCDS? It is brain power, articulating a vision on climate and forests that requires brain power. It requires thinking. It requires application. It requires analytics. When he brought the hydro project, you couldn't even raise a cent. He got the project. He got the financing. They blocked it. But today, I commit to you that we will continue to work hard. We will work hard until we achieve the beauty of one land in which prosperity will be and must be the friend of every home. I thank you and God bless you.
So thank you, Mr. President. You may be seated. We'll now have the contract signing, and then we will proceed down the aisle for the turning of the sod. So they're setting up for the signing at the head table. And just a reminder, we did allow the overflow to go onto the shed. The contractors' representatives will be out there to do the collecting updated information for the recruitment process. And we also have some refreshments under the other tent. Live and let your neighbor live, and we all will be happy. So now we'll have the contract signing.
This one, right? This one, right?
Yes,
holders of the school.
Sarah, you put on your external audio?
The government outlines clearly its strategy, defends its position, and let us examine also the responsibility of the NGOs. NGOs are key and critical for every society. We encourage the growth and development of NGOs. But look at the NGOs and examine honestly. Take, for example, the APA. The APA has been political in everything. How can the APA consider itself to be an NGO when in every key national issue, when it was the rigging of the elections, they were quiet. When it was the no confidence motion, they were quiet. When the LCDS, if you look at the facts, there is a clear trail of evidence that support the view that the APA is politically biased, and the APA is, of course, an offshoot or has demonstrated a clear bias to the APNU is. And we don't have a problem with that. That's the democratic right. Let me say that very clearly. We don't have a problem with the APA demonstrating this bias. But the population must know that. The population must know from what perspective they're speaking, from what angle they're speaking. And the government has a responsibility to outline that. Thank you.